So, simula muna, parang background, personal background, parang educational lang and position sa and what company.
I'm Jay. I currently work for Century Properties Incorporated, which is a real estate firm, as their Vice President for Information Technology. You can also call it a CIO, TO even, or CKO. Those are interchangeable terms in some companies. I graduated from Marist School in Marikina, both for grade school and high school, then moved on to UP Diliman, pursued 2 courses there, computer science and English creative writing. So one for the pay and the other for the love of it.
Sir, we have read that the Chief Information Officer basically is the boss of the IT department of any company. But what exactly do you do as a CIO?
I mostly give orders. A lot of things, no. The way I define the CIO may be different from the way other companies define the CIO role. Because I've seen companies who have CIOs who focus primarily on technology, application development, network operations, all those things. But I believe that the CIO role is marrying these technologies with the business strategies. We're in charge of making sure that our technology addresses stay-awake issues in the company, things that are going to affect either the bottom line or cost. So, in that sense, I believe that it's not just about knowing how to program or knowing the most efficient way of doing things technology-wise. It also includes understanding how technology affects your business. So any CIO worth his salt, in my opinion, would need to know the business itself.
So with all that said, sir, how difficult is it to be a CIO?
It has its perks. Definitely, you have super user access to the entire network. For one, your bandwidth is pretty much up there. But aside from the perks, it's as difficult and as easy as any other job. So long as you're the right fit for it. So in a way, again, the way I define the CIO, you have to have a firm grasp of technology, but also business acumen. You have to be abreast of the developments in both fields, and that's probably the most challenging thing. Like for now, I need to, admittedly, I have to understand and then take some training on HTML5. Because that's the most recent thing out there, diba? So, and then when social networking came out, like 2.0, you really have to keep yourself current because you're only as valuable as what you know right now. What you don't want to happen is obsolescence. You become obsolete because the younger people know more than you do. Another part of it is letting go. If you guys program, I would imagine, if you want the CIO track, that's totally different from a programmer track. At a certain point in my career, I had to decide whether I can give up programming or not. There are 2 ways that you can develop the technical manager path. You can become a guru for programming, or you can become a CIO. Marrying technology with business. I decided early on that while I love programming, I used to love programming, it's more lucrative to pursue a management career in that direction.
We also read that CIO suggests technological advances to help the company. So, nagsasuggest kayo sa mga sa company. So,
Definitely.
how is this being done?
Uh, I can speak for my company. When I came on board, there was simply no IT department. There were a lot of network people who manage the network. They outsource a lot of the applications development work. But there was no IT department to speak of. And they were actually in search for an internet strategist at that point. When I came for the interview, I suggested that they have. From then onwards, yeah. From then onwards, we have developed so many applications in-house. While I cannot disclose the specifics of these applications, it has moved our company forward by bounds. That I believe that we are currently the most technologically advanced real estate company. Having said that, we're not the biggest, nor do we spend the most. For example, if you're talking about ERPs, you're familiar with ERPs.
Enterprise.
Resource planning software. Very critical for any business if it's large enough. You need accounting software, warehousing, all these things associated to marketing. And we don't use SAP. We don't use Microsoft Dynamics. While I evaluated them when I came on board, you have to realize that the business may call for something that's not industry standard. If you're talking about spending a lot of money and you have the pockets for it, why not? But at that point, I suggested that we purchase an ERP solution that focuses on real estate, knows the industry landscape of the Philippines, and can create value at a price point we're comfortable with. This is talking about, 10% of the price of SAP, of SAP. Dynamics, maybe we can create a package that competes with that, but then it doesn't focus on real estate. So it's up to me to decide which technology to use. Beyond that, I have to also keep thinking about new ideas that we need to implement in the organization. So I guess that's part of the CIO responsibility.
So, in general, what business strategies are prevalent among CIOs?
Well, it's an oscillation, I believe. There was a point where data mining was the most important thing for people. We're talking about knowledge-based creation, creating a culture of meritocracy in the organization by rewarding people for sharing information. So that was a time where SharePoint was popular, other empowerment technologies for sharing information were popular, governance like Sarbanes-Oxley, mga ganyan, very popular in organizations. Because they believed, or we believed at that point that sharing information is key. Now I think the focus has oscillated again. So it's a cycle. Now it's about customers. And when we talk about customers, it's harnessing the technologies of the web, mainly in the social media area, for boosting your sales or managing your customers. A lot of companies are using Facebook now for promotions, Friendster for nothing. But in the States, MySpace is also popular. And Twitter mostly is used for post-sale service. May mga complaints, you handle it with Twitter. The challenge there is the balancing act, because using social media technology actually is a double-edged sword. While you can promote your company a lot, there's no way to shut up the people who hate you. So you have to be very good at managing that.
So, what does it take to become a CIO? And
Good looks, definitely. Go ahead.
And average salary range ng
Okay.
mga CIO.
Again, good looks, really. That's the only thing that I have. I actually failed the UPCAT, but then when they saw my picture, they helped me on board. Kidding aside though, it's about love for the job as any other job requires. You know? So if you don't like technology, then this is not the thing for you. Number two would be you have to be a constant student. What do I mean by that? If you don't like studying, this is not the job for you. Remember, the thing that you should watch out most if you're in my field would be obsolescence, when you're not essential to the company anymore. And if your programmers know more than you do, not naman about programming, I still program, but like dabble. You know? If I really need to, I have pet projects and program, but I'm sure they're better programmers than I am right now. So that's fine. But then the big picture, I probably know more than they do. You know? What else? Well, thirdly, is a good grasp of business. That's your edge over your competition. If you come up for an interview and you're competing against the smartest nerd out there, but he doesn't know business, then you have an edge. Because what organizations really need would be someone who has a grasp of both worlds, and then bring it forward.
Last question. So as we approach our IM track, which is information management, what could you advise us?
Well, mag-aral mabuti, magdasal, sipag at tiyaga. Decisions have to be made in the next few years for you guys. Information technology is such a mutant course. If you think about it, it's such a mongrel course. No offense, but it's really jack of all trades and master of none. The good thing about it though is that's who I am. I'm really not focused in network operations, systems administration, programming. No, I'm not the best programmer out there, not the best NOC guy. But then I'm probably very good at all the things equally. You have to decide in the next few years whether that's for you. Because if you can't let go of programming, this is not for you. If you can't bring yourself to study business and not just technology, this is not for you. If you're so into networks that's essential to your day, well, this is not for you. But if all those three things are within you, the passion to study, good looks, of course, but I forget. So 4 things: good looks, the passion to study, love for technology, and love for business, strategizing. Then this is a very, very good career. Remember though that you are in a very competitive market. Just look around your classroom. How many are you in your class?
About 40.
You have to find 140 companies where you can be CIO in. For you guys, for all of you to become CIOs. So these are not your friends. These are your competition. No. But in any case, sharing information and skills is the way to go. One thing that helped me in becoming who I am now is that I made myself marketable by doing stuff that may not sound so essential for the CIO role. I do a lot of road shows. I used to do a lot of road shows and lectures.